What's going on YouTube? Today's video we're going to be showing you how to do a step-by-step skin fade taper tutorial with no enhancements. This is a complete guide. If you guys want to check out anything in the description down below, it will be in the description. Let's get into the tools needed for this video. First is an Andis electric shaver, a hard bristle brush, a trimmer. I'm using Babyliss, but you can use any trimmer out there. Clipper. These are both zero gapped, and this is a Babyliss FX Pro, but you can once again use any other clipper or trimmer you want. It doesn't have to be expensive. Some Clipper cleaner disinfectant spray. Our sponsor for today's video is Coshare. More about that in the video, don't worry. You're also going to need some type of mirror where you have a 3-in-1, but you can also use a regular mirror from like Walmart. You also do have to get some scissors. You absolutely have to get some. A fade comb is also necessary if you like to make it a lot easier. And obviously we do have a straight edge razor. We're going to go to set up the 3-in-1 here. We're going to be using some stencils here to mark it out just to show you a little bit better on what we're trying to go for. So that's our goal there. We're going about 1 inch to half an inch, depending on how low you want it to be. We're going to go ahead and hit that line. We're going to flick at that line, and we're going to go release pressure as we get closer to that line. We're going to remove the pressure away from the head. So once we get up there, we're going to relieve pressure, make sure it's not as harsh. All right, now we're going to go switch to our electric shaver. We're going to go a little bit underneath the previous guideline, just a little bit, probably like 1 millimeter or 2. Then we're going to use our corners, and you can actually get a little bit closer to that just to detail a little bit. You can feel where the bald spots are and where the bald spots aren't. Then you're going to go with your trimmers here, and you're going to use the corner of the clipper as well, just to go a little bit higher, just to blend it up a little bit better. You're also going to release pressure as you get a little bit higher. You're going to go with your clippers all the way opened. You're going to go about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Right now I'm trying to go for a low to mid fade, so we're going to go about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. This is all the way opened, by the way, so make sure you relieve pressure like I said before. Flick out or scoop out and just relieve pressure. Don't apply any pressure when you're doing anything with fading. You're going to also use your corner of your clippers when you're doing most of this taper work, as it does help with detailing and just works a lot better. We're going to go to close this halfway, and we're going to go in between the previous guideline and the middle guideline. So basically the middle. And we're going to go ahead and use the corners mainly. You can stretch the skin and then unstretch it, basically keep it as is. And you can see right here that we're using a lot of the corner, and that's what you're going to be doing for this. Now we're going to go ahead and close it all the way, and we're going to attack that bottom line, flick as you are getting there. So as you're getting there, you're going to flick a little bit too early, just so you don't push it up. But that's pretty much how that one's going to go. And then you're going to go and switch to the 0.5, open it all the way, and you're going to go a slight sliver above that, just to act as a small guideline and a smoother transition between this one and the next guard. So we're going to use the corner of the clipper. You can stretch the skin and unstretch it like I said before, and you're going to be using this. All right, now we're going to go ahead and close that halfway, and we're going to go ahead and go in between that. Remember, we're not really creating guidelines. We're just transitioning into it, and we're basically detailing it a little bit more, if you want to say. And you can see here, we're stretching the skin and then we're unstretching it. It just helps a little bit better to get into certain hairs when you're using lower guards. We're using the same clipper at all the way closed now, half guard all the way closed, and we're going to tack the very bottom line. This is basically a no guard all the way opened. Now we're going to use a 1 guard all the way open. We're going to go about at finger's length with the guard all the way open. This is going to help make the fade pop a lot, trust me. Now we're going to close the clipper halfway, and we're going to go a little bit underneath that, just in between. Use the corner clippers mainly. We're not going to be creating guideline, just a smooth transition. Now I like to do detail work as I'm going. That way I don't go back and I don't remember which guard it was. It's just a good thing to do, but I remember which guard I know because I do the same steps. We're doing a no guard all the way open, so we get a little bit of a brighter transition as we're going up into the fade. So I'm using that, and then we're going to go into the 2 and get rid of, basically we're not getting rid of bulk, but we're pushing the fade up to the top. We're blending it in, if that makes sense. And yeah, we're not going to be taking a bunch off. Yeah, so it's basically you're fading it into the top of the length of the hair. We're going to be using our trimmers here, just doing the same detail work, using the corner of the clipper. And basically do whatever you need to do, finesse whatever you need to finesse in order to get just a little bit of bright transition. This will come with time to be able to know which guard and which area to do, but basically close to open method. Basically what we did, hit certain areas. Now we're doing a lineup here though. Trimmer. I still kind of struggle with this part, but what you want to do, it still comes out clean, don't get me wrong, but you want to use the very light pressure of it, little corners, because I know I've seen barbers give their clients super red marks. Do not apply any pressure when you're lining someone up. No pressure at all. It should be cutting like butter, and if it's not, you need to fix your clippers. As you can see here, we made it line up so it's pretty much parallel and perfect. Also, we're going to use our scissors here to be able to cut any overhang. We're not going to be basically pushing anything back. We're just cutting any overhang hairs. Something I really love to start doing is detailing with scissors. So you can actually angle it a certain way and go how I'm going right now and detailing like that. Just, you got to utilize all your tools to their full potential, and that's a really great way to actually detail. In the back of the taper, we're going to start with a 2 to take off the bulk. We're going to go with our clipper, no guard, all the way closed, and begin our first guideline. Now this is going to be where the base is, and that's where we're going to put that. Make sure you go multiple passes, that way it's nice and clean at the bottom. We're going to use our trimmers here. We're going to go ahead and fade into that first guideline. So most people don't, but I like to do it this way. Use the corner of the clippers, don't use the actual full clipper, otherwise you're going to create a harsh guideline. So use the corner of the clipper to be able to get a cleaner transition, and so it's not as noticeable, but actually gets the same results. So we're going to use a foil shaver here. We're going to do all the stubble underneath, and we're going to get rid of most of that. You can use the corners like I said before on the sides. We're going to go with our clipper all the way opened, go about 1 inch to ½ an inch. The longer you do this fade step is the bigger the fade how it'll be. So I recommend going about 1 inch. And then we're going to flick out as we get to that line right there. As you can see, this is about 1 inch. And as we're getting closer to that line, we're flicking out, releasing pressure. And make sure you stay consistent. Do multiple passes if you need to, because some hairs might not grab, some hairs will. And just got to know your growth pattern as well. You can do different angles and everything else like that, or use the corner of the clipper just in case you don't get a certain corner. We're going to go ahead and close it halfway, and we're going to attack the middle of it. And it's always good to take a step back and look at your work, see what you're missing, what you're not. We're going to go with the 0.5 all the way opened, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Just a sliver up is mainly a transition rather than a full guideline. And you use the corner of the clippers actually, mainly, like I said before, for this step, like I said. And yeah, you're going to go halfway and do the same thing, a little bit underneath that previous line. And then we're going to go ahead and keep going all the way around the head. Stay consistent, take your time. There's different growth patterns, like I said. Just go slow. And now we're going to go with the clipper all the way open on the 1 guard. We're going to go ahead and go about ½ an inch. You don't want to go crazy high, just so it's not similar as the previous guide, and flick out a lot. That's what that one's looking like, and we can see there's a really good blend. If you don't apply any pressure and you're doing your strokes good, then it's going to be really good to blend out. And as you can see right here, we're using halfway opened. We're using the corner of the clipper, and it's super seamless, and it's starting to come together really well. You're going to go halfway into that blend already, and you can see this. Ooh, it's already looking clean. We're going to use our fade comb here. You can skip a couple steps by using a fade comb. I highly recommend it. I'll make a video separately on how to use a fade comb, but right now I don't have a bunch of hair to be able to actually use it, so it's a bit of a struggle, but you know. Now we're going to go to line ourselves up. Once again, don't apply any pressure when you're doing this. I don't like to push this back a lot. Some barbers do to make it look cleaner. I just like to keep it all natural and just make it last a lot longer. Even if it doesn't look as clean, it lasts longer if you don't push it back. Now we're going to use a shave gel, and we're going to use a straight edge razor. We're going to apply some water. This actually lubricates it. It makes it last longer. It doesn't dry up as quick. So spray some water on there, and then you're able to use a straight edge razor and get rid of all the stubble that the electric full shaver wasn't able to get. We're also going to be doing this on basically any parts that we lined up. so you can get in there. It's hard to do. Don't get me wrong, I still accidentally cut myself sometimes when using a straight edge razor, but take your time when you're doing it. Be very, very delicate. We're going to be doing our top of our hair now, just detailing it. This is however you want to do it. Now really quick, I also did want to mention the Coshare Superflow 1 hair dryer. This is a self-cleaning hair dryer that is very sleek, very modern. It looks like a very premium one, and it is because it has 4 different modes. It has a cycle between warm and hot, cold, warm, and hot. It has 3 different fan speeds, and as well as a self-cleaning mode. If you press and hold the bottom button for about 3 to 5 seconds, it'll automatically shift and reverse the airflow to push out the bottom and take out any dust or anything else like that, which is a mind-blowing game changer. It's very powerful, very quiet, and it only reaches for $100. Good for barbers out there because it's an all-in-one perfect exception. It also does have different scents and everything else like that, so you can actually make your hair smell good even after you're blow drying it rather than putting any products in it. It gives you better negative ion particles, which actually keep your hair silky, anti-frizzy, and just feels and looks a lot better. So without further ado, guys, thank you guys for watching. This is the fade tutorial. I have more tutorials on my channel as well. Let me know what type of style you want me to do next. If you want me to do a low drop fade or just a regular fade, let me know in the comments down below. The top comment will be pinned, and I'll be doing the next video on it, so stay tuned for it. Thank you for watching. Without further ado, if this helps you out, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We out. Much love.